Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Foolkiller, number one. Foolkiller has a very interesting history. He started off unbelievably cool in the Max Comics issues. There was a four-part miniseries, and it was amazing. And it didn't continue because, it was only meant for the four issues, and you don't want to exhaust a story like that. And then he had another four-issue miniseries where the Punisher was actually in there with him, because he was kind of considered like a poor man's Punisher, which is perfectly fine because it was a great read. The second series wasn't as good as the first, but it was still really good. And then it just got pure stupid from that point on. He started wearing costumes like this. Yeah, you can never take something, you can't unsee something like that. And then he just he teamed up with Deadpool and with his Merc team, and Slapstick was in there also to give you an idea of how serious that should have been taken. They tried to bring him back a few times and they failed every single time. This time might be a little bit different. They showed how he finally stopped being Foolkiller in this latest incarnation, and he was taken on by S.H.I.E.L.D. to kind of be a therapist in a sense, and to do psychology for people who are a little bit crazy. There's this kid who he's his very first patient, and he calls himself the Junior Red Skull, actually splatters real blood on his face and lets it dry, and just stinky and everything. And yeah, he's a neo-Nazi, and it's got all sorts of bad things going on. This is a really good comic in that you can read it and you think it's supposed to be silly, and there are some moments that seem silly, and it really quickly gets caught before it gets in any way, shape, or form out of hand, right? There's so many moments where this comic could have gone south, and it never, ever does it. It could still be taken seriously every single moment, right? And I love the way they did that. It was very expert, because when I first started reading it, I thought they're going to make this into another Slapstick or another Cage or into another whatever, and Marvel's got a few too many silly comics out right now. I don't want to see another one. They really need to stop with that. It's good what they got, but that needs to stop now, because it's going to become a new shtick, and no, that's not what we need. So this is very refreshing. It's good. It's not like Solo, where that really is silly. No, this stops silliness. But it's really good the way they do it. Even at the end, it's such a silly scene, but you understand it. And it's not silly because of the way that the character is handling it. And you realize what he's going through. I don't want to give you too much about this comic, because I would rather you actually go and at least thumb through it. I mean, it's really worth it. It's great to see this. This series has to continue. I don't see it stopping anytime soon, as long as enough people recognize how good it really is. I'm going to give this comic a B+, because there's so much potential. Will it be realized? Time will tell. I honestly expect that if next issue comes out, and even if it's just as good as this one, I'd still bump that up to a higher grade. But right now, B+. Nothing wrong with that. Guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Subscribe below. Class dismissed.